carry on with your talk since you have a little time, and let you speak to us about application of the quantum medicine in endurance and athletics.
Okay, so it's in French, but I will translate. So quantum side of health, sports applications. I did this work a little time before. It was asked by trainers of boxers, notably, because I invented a special mouthguard to potentialize the energy, the balance, and the flow of boxers, kickboxers, Thai boxers, MMA fighters, etc. So myself, so you know me now. So what kind of applications we can make for performances? So we have to act on different levels: physical performances, endurance, high level of energy, reactivity and reflexes, adaptivity, and balance. And on the mental level, stress management, concentrations, reactivity, so being able to take a decision very quickly, rejection of stress during competition, and return to and calm down and relaxation. Because after competition, after very hard training, it's really important to calm down, to relax, and to put everything at the rest level. So we have some scientific and clinical basis for that. Like Professor, so you know that I told you about this great researcher that make quantum medicine exists and develop. So this is Professor Korotkov. We act at the sport level because his machines and others I use on a daily basis were used notably for the Sochi Winter Games, Sochi Olympic Winter Games. And I have an experiment, but it was just at the beginning of my career with one of our biathlon athletes. His name was Chantal Briand, and she was gold medal in Lillehammer Olympic Games with the help of some devices I have created for her at this moment. So frequencies and health. Lots of different frequencies, specific frequencies can be used and efficient to equilibrate, stimulate, and optimize nervous system. Strongly reduce the impact of psychological stress. At physical level, we can destroy or weaken virus, bacteria, parasites, and mycosis. Stimulate the immune system, stimulate detox process, and detox process are really important. I told you, it's the two sides of the same medal. To improve muscular tonus and adaptations to sport, to efforts. Contribute to treat lots of types of pathology and optimize performances for sure. So we make the classical scan for oligo elements, vitamins, and heavy metals. This is basic, but in fact, it's really important. And for sports, for example, if you lack magnesium, your muscles will have a spasm, muscular spasm. So it's the reason why, for example, when you see a tennis championship in summer, for example, in Australia, where it's very hot, or in United States, it's very hot when they made the tournament, the Grand Slam tournament. You see all these tennismen drinking special solution with hydrolytes, with minerals. It's for feeding the body. It's because during the effort, it's really essential to give the good quantity of oligo elements, good minerals. So you know these graphics. So with the measure, we can have adapted, precise, and efficient complementation. The evaluation of the initial status is really important, and more important, the follow-up with these specific machines issued from Professor Korotkov. It takes a picture of the fingers submitted to a very high level of electricity, very high intensity, but not a very high dosage. So it's not painful at all. You know, you're not at risk. But this electric field gives the ionizations of all the gases and photons that are around our body and that we are not visible normally. And when you take the picture submitted to this high energy electricity, you have the image of the aura, of the biofield, the bioenergy field. And measure of this biofield can give us the actual state of physical shape, stress, psychological stress reaction and adaptations, global health status, global function of organs, and by making monitoring from time to time, you can evaluate the progress and evolutions in relations with trainings and treatments. So you can see in real time, like a direct biofeedback, if what you do it's okay, and you can modulate the training, for example. If the person have the energy field that it's down, it trains too much. So you have to slow down a little bit training and accentuate on the relaxation. So you can modulate to have your athletes at the top level permanently. So you can see some picture of what it's possible to do. So here here you have the alignments of chakras. So this side is the outer world, and this side the inner world, concerning the origins of stress. For example, this can significate this green point that the athlete have affective problem, maybe problem with girlfriend or boyfriend or husband. On this side, it's more relation with the outside, with the external world, problem with jobs, problem with trainers. So you can evaluate that, the causes of the stress. If it's something related to the inner world or something related to the outer world, something with the business, with the activity, external activity. This is more affective, this is more psychology and relational. These gaps you can see here are energy gaps. That means that at this spot, something happens. Here it's probably the circulatory system. So we can be very precise on what happened. With all these graphs, you can see really precisely what happens. And in this case, for example, it's an athlete of 29 years old with tiredness, moderate tiredness, but great anxiety due to affective problems, little perturbations in the kidney functions. If submitted to intense stress, it's at risk to have behavioral problems, could become aggressive, for example, and we need to correct for sure energetically, psychologically, and physically. So after we'll analyze the frequential emissions of the cells. So we'll analyze all the organs one by one by checking the functional level of systems: cardiovascular, motor system, digestive, reproductive, immune system, nervous system. Estimate the risk of degeneration of pathologic approach, determine the causes, if it's pathologic, toxic, allergic, psycho-emotional, etc., and test and determine which are the best treatments in this case, with frequencies, with nutrition, with maybe homeopathy, detox, etc. So we can make a treatment by measure, and that will evaluate with time and with the progress of the person. For example, now we have the checkup at functional level, the before and after. the darker the icons, the lower the functional level. In this case, we can see that you have some perturbations in blood flow, and cognitive functions are very low. This is due to a chronic fatigue syndrome, and the result after treatments are there, and you can see the improvement in a couple of minutes at the functional level, with diminution of cerebrovascular risk and improvement of cognitive levels. Some metabolic systems are very important to improve the performances, sports performances. Mitochondria, because they produce our energy, and they are implicated in oxygenations, but they are also the siege of cell memories, of ancestral cells memory, inherited cell memories, and these memories that are recorded in this mitochondrial DNA can be triggered by emotions, for example. You have some people that overreact to some stimulus. So you tell something to somebody and he totally flew his temper, he becomes totally crazy, shouting everywhere, wants to kill you. And what you told him is not, it's nothing, but you triggered cell memory that is amplified by it's the memory of a strong emotion of one ancestor that you trigger, and it's overreact because he's under the influence of this cell memory. Nervous systems for sure, because it regulates everything. It's reaction speed, adaptive capabilities, resistance capabilities, and muscular coordination, and immune system for sure, because immune system is here for everything. So we can have another applications, detox and stimulation of immune system for post-traumatic treatments, for preparations. It's with magnetic fields, laser LEDs, infrared LEDs, and polychromatic LEDs, because it's improved microcirculation, and microcirculation is a condition to have a better healing process. It can be used in preparation to some surgery, and it will shorten the time to recover. It will lower the pain. It will stimulate regenerations of organs and stimulate all organic functions. So that's very important for sports, because you can prevent and treat more efficiently all the traumatism. And regulation of brain magnetic field, because it will improve cognitive functions, it will treat psycho-emotional disorder, so contribute to treat, not totally, and induce a best neuromuscular conduction. So we have other specific frequencies to work at for example, binaural frequencies, different frequencies for both parts of the brain, to improve mental functions, to lower stress level, to improve management of stress, to stimulate and improve all the learning capabilities, either intellectual capabilities than neuromuscular capabilities. You know, in sport, by repetition, you educate your nervous system and neuromuscular system to have better reflex, to have better gesture, to have better performances. And we have, for example, specific treatments to stabilize psycho-emotional level, to stimulate energetic center, to stimulate some desire. So, for example, we can treat with this kind of frequencies the fear to win that lots of athletes have. They are at top level, they are at the final, they just have to score 2 points at tennis to win the tournament, and they lose all their means at this moment, and they lose the tournament. We can see that incredible amount of times in every sport. And we can have another level with audiovisual stimulation of cerebral area, relaxation, stress treatment, very quickly, addiction treatment, phobias treatment, mental conditioning for before competition, for example, or before very hard training. There is a French writer that writes, they did them because they didn't know it was impossible. And that's it. If you think you are limited, if you think something is not possible, you will restrain yourself. Just see, when you see the Olympic Games, there is some record in running, in jumping, in everything. Some records, world record, that stand for years. And one day, one guys break these records. And in the couple of weeks after that, a lot of people break the record. Because the broke is not the physical performance, is a psychological barrier. And we can work on that with that. We can improve intellectual and learning performances and accelerate the recuperation after effort, improve the rest if you want. And these devices are used for more than 20 years in lots of clinics, medical center, dental center, psychologists, and it's actually tested by NASA to prepare astronauts and pilots. So for each people, we have a specific strategy because it's highly personalized. So globally, it's the same protocol, but in practice, it could be totally different. We can spend more time on one aspect than on the other, depending on the progress, and it's evolutive. So when the people improve, you can work on other level every time. I have some people I work with for couple of years now. They came at very low physical and psychological level. Now they are totally stabilized at high level, and we are working on mind expansion, on development of other kinds of capabilities. So, you know, it's not at the beginning, it can be curing, stabilization, and after we can be on the optimization level. Even at physical, that intellectual, that spiritual level. Why not? Okay, this is some people I have met and can be related to high level sports. Rafael Nadal, Carlos Takay, I worked with him on the development of this special mouth guard to stabilize energetic level. I have another one that he doesn't want for the moment. I talk of him because it's on pre-selection for Olympic Games in boxing too. And before the qualification is official, you don't want to talk about him, but I work. And this is Phil Palmer, just because I love rock and guitar, and it's the guitarist of the Dire Straits group. He's giving me a guitar lesson on this picture. Okay, thank you for your attention, dear Zoe, and we will do it again later. And I will translate the slides, I promise.
Fantastic. Again, a very excellent talk, and thank you for taking part. This wonderful and encouraging and new approach of looking at empowering. It's not only physical, from what I understand, emotional clearance as well, emotional distress. It clears up, because obviously a healthy body is in a healthy mind, and a healthy mind is a healthy body.
Did you ever try to play golf, Zoe?
Well, you talk about sports with me. I can tell you I play every single sport. One of the sports that the last one I did before I come here, it was windsurfing.
Oh.
And I was excellent windsurfer. But one sport yeah, and I love it.
When they invented the first big windsurfer, I learned on that in Corsica. I was 14 years old.
Really?
So long time. And it was funny because we were at a beach club with it was policemen that make the animation with little sails or beach volley or etc. And they bought 3 windsurfers, and we read the notice to know how to bring it together, and read the instruction to know how to sail with that. It was so funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic, excellent.
I
I've been trying every sport. The only sport, it's the one you asked me. I haven't done it yet.
So why? Because golf is the only sport when only you are moving. The ball is fixed. The ball is on the ground.
Yes.
She doesn't move, and it's the only sport with such a big how to tell. I don't remember the term. When you hit the ball, she go very far.
Yes.
If you have the slightest
move
mistake when your club hits the ball, it can go 10th of meters to the right or to the left, or it's a total mess. So, and to hit the ball perfectly, you have to be totally relaxed with a perfect move. The slightest defect, the slightest contraction, the slightest stress when you are doing the move, you can see directly with the ball go everywhere except where you want it goes. So this is a really good measure of control and stress management.
And stability, yes.
Yeah, and it lasts when you have 18 holes golf course. It lasts 3 to 4 hours, and at the beginning you can be excellent, in the middle you can be totally shitty, yes, and finish the two last fantastically. So you can measure precisely your stress level and relaxation level with golf. It's materialized by the trajectory of the ball with great precision. It's fantastic.
So you think this stress level is measured best with golf rather than tennis?
Oh yes.
Tennis is also very, very good.
Tennis, the ball is moving. She hits the ground. She can touch the line. She can. So, but with golf, the ball is not moving at all. Just you are moving and giving the kinetic trajectory to the ball.
You mean for the golf? For the golf? Yeah. Yes.
For golf.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So that's a perfect example. It's a perfect example to understand what your talk. Perfect example.
Yes, it's the best example because you can see precisely where the balls go. You know if you have contracted your left or right arm, or make your eyes going out of the ball. So it's really like a kind of yoga with a ball, I call it.
Can you train somebody with these techniques you have on hands? Can you train somebody? Can you take somebody, for instance, who is not yet, and bring them to the level of?
Yes, I can, but in collaboration with other trainers.
Yes, of course. I mean, it's a workout.
First, one thing, I have a friend that invented a really interesting device that takes a 3D image of yourself and can give you with great precision all the disbalances of the body in the 3 planes of the space, and give you the specific physical exercise to correct the defect. And you can take this picture, and that makes a kind of an avatar of yourself, a kind of a shape of yourself, but in 3D, so you can see everything. It's not very good at the beginning because you can see if you have a little bit too much belly, but you can see all the disbalances and work at the physical level to put everything online, aligned perfectly. Yes. And working in conjunction with trainers, with dietitians, with all the stuff around high-level sportsmen. But when we work at the quantum level together, results are really quickly improving,
So you think these athletes that we have, like Roger Federer and Tiger, have they went through this precision medicine and through
I
this
know that.
individualized approach?
I know Roger Federer used some kinds of quantum device.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I now
The
that you
reason why, and it's one of the reasons why he lasts so long.
yes, yeah. I
It's
have
a,
thought
it's
about
accumulation of brilliant talent,
yes,
of psychological strength,
yes,
but everything is worked and acquired. I talked with, I had the appointment, but he couldn't come at the last moment, with Marc Rosset. He's one
yes,
of the former tennis, very famous tennis player,
yes,
generation just before Roger Federer.
yes,
And he told me that he was playing in a final of a tournament, local tournament there, with Roger Federer, who was a very young player.
mm-hmm.
And Marc Rosset won this tournament. And Roger Federer said it was totally sad, totally psychologically destroyed, because he told, I had a chance to win a tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and I missed. Maybe I will never win another one in my life. So you can see the career he did,
Yes,
Roger Federer.
yeah,
So,
absolutely,
but you know, at this moment, if the psychological work is not done properly, you can destroy totally the career of such a champion.
yes.
And
Example,
my
example.
work,
I've
okay,
got an
my work,
example.
my piece of work in training of big champions like that is to identify the weak points and to
Yes,
reinforce the weak points.
yes.
And with quantum medicine, we can do it really quickly and easily.
So, I mean, we've seen, for instance, the other, I mean, if we take the tennis player, because I'm a fan of Wimbledon, so I watch, and I'm fun to watch them all. And um, Boris Becker, the German tennis player, he won for up to a certain level, and then all decline. This is an example that I mean, I cannot be precise. I'm not him. I'm not Boris. But obviously, he did not maintain his level.
Yes, because it needs to be constant at this level when you are a champion.
Yes,
You have to be at top level every time, and you have to improve every time.
every time. Yeah.
If you think at one moment, okay, now I am the boss, I can relax a little bit, I can eat a little bit differently, I can train a little bit less, you become too much confident in yourself, and some youngster come and give you a very good, big lesson by beating you, and you lose confidence.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
easier to climb than to stay at top level.
Yes. Yes.
When you have an objective to, and it's classic in boxing, we can see it very often. So a guy becomes world champion and he lose the title first time,
Mm-hmm.
he defend it, and after never proven to come back.
Yeah.
So is the reason why it's really important to check all the points,
Yes.
to identify weak points before they become really weaknesses.
Yes.
So if you get
Absolutely.
the psychological level is little falling down, you have to act on this point. If you see that functional level of oxygenation is slowing a little bit down, or nervous system slowing a little bit down, you can act directly, because you can see before you have symptoms.
Yes. I mean,
Now maybe I will work in a couple of time with AS Monaco football playing.
okay.
We have a dinner with the osteopath of this team, and I know one or two people that work around, but it's difficult to be new in a team like that, and especially when you do something nobody knows.
Exactly. But it will be interesting if you work with them, so we can see the results. Maybe Monaco team will come to beat the Arsenal or whatever.
Take time. So time is my ally in
Yeah, of
this.
course, of course.
Okay, so I have to go, Zoe.
Thank you very much for your participation. Again, thank you for the wonderful talk you gave. It's excellent points, excellent knowledge that that you gave to us. And we'll take it further for another, we organize for another talk, and then we'll bring
Maybe in September, because everybody will be on